studio in Newport Beach, California. Welcome to another edition of the Chab Dog Sports Talk Radio Show. Sometimes scattered, but always edgy. We're an authentic take on sports talk. Rated R. Chab Dog brings you Eric, the well-read, Frank, the tank, Brian from Sports Rock, and special guests. We're here to talk sports. We're here to rant and vent. We're here to take it up another notch. Now here's your host, Chab Dog.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Chab Dog Sports Talk. We're on each Sunday from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Time, brought to you by Law Offices of Brandon Chabner, serving Southern California's transactional legal needs and estate planning, and also by Chab Dog Sports Blog for your head of your sports headlines and biting sports commentary. We got a great show for you today as we exit the month of February. It's kind of now we're done with the start of the year. It's you have to start thinking about more serious things, but it's still February. Let's enjoy it while it lasts. This is the Cuchi 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 show. I didn't give that justice. We're gonna have to listen to Charo, and she can say it a little more appropriately. And we're just gonna talk probably more about other things. There's not a lot going on in sports right now. There's just a lot of anticipation for the. And I'm here with Eric Sauve, my co-host. How are you, Eric?
Hey, Chab Dog.
It's beautiful Newport Beach studios. So it's kind of a dead period right now. I think maybe the NBA All-Star game is next week. I don't know. And then there's the NCAA tournament. And we have to wait until April till the Masters.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is Tiger going to play?
Yeah.
We had that this week.
Tiger does probably doesn't even start thinking about golf again until
the next year.
Until the end of the year or something when he's walking. I mean,
I suppose so.
All I know is he has broken bones and body crush injuries.
Multiple
sounds intense
fractures. Did you see the pictures of that wreck?
I thought I saw where he went off the road. It was like a turn, and did he roll down the hill a little?
Did you see the picture of the vehicle he was in with the front end basically smashed off?
Yeah, it's a very, very serious damage to that car.
It was, but with all the airbags and stuff, like how does he break his leg? How does his legs get broken like that? Why did the passenger compartment below the knee there disappear and fail for him? Yeah, 10 airbags. How can that fail? That doesn't make sense.
But they said there were airbags, right?
Oh, yeah. They all deployed and everything, but yet, his legs got horribly broken.
Can't your legs get, from the force of the impact, get broken just from that, right? Are the airbags supposed to take all that away?
Well, the passenger compartment's supposed to take all that away. All that blunt force, that's all supposed to break off to protect the passenger compartment. So I'm just like, why is his legs broken like that? It shouldn't be that way. Yeah.
And
then there were no tire tracks or any form that he hit the brakes at all. So
what you're thinking the whole thing was staged? I mean, what are you saying?
No, I'm not getting it. Gee, that's a guy. I hadn't even thought of that. Gee, you're really slow down there, buddy. I'm just saying, don't rule out the possibility of mechanical failure. And I'll throw another log in the fire here. The Hyundai Kia, which it was a Hyundai Genesis.
So the car just what?
They're having issues with engines, and they're keeping it quiet. But they're about to do a massive recall because they got engines that just die and then catch fire. But before they catch fire, they just die.
That's why a car would roll over.
Well, if you lose full power and you can't brake or anything like that, you're coming down a hill already accelerating, then you lose all power to control it, and you go out of control. Yeah, you're not going to Sure.
So Tiger really might not be at fault at all for this. I mean, other than just being in a car that didn't operate right.
Yeah. He's just rolling down the hill, already picking up good speed, and then the engine dies on him, the systems die, and he's basically...
Isn't that kind of what he said? He didn't remember how it happened exactly?
Well, he doesn't remember, right? Because, of course, his attorney, he's probably being well advised here.
Yeah.
To say nothing right now to see how much Hyundai will pay him to be quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you heard it here.
So that's my... the conspiracy.
You heard it here.
It wasn't set up, but it's that he's being hushed right now. He's deciding whether he's going to say, the Hyundai product did it or not. Because how could I mean, it's very possible, too. It could be anything. I don't want to say this is true, but just, there's no tire tracks, there's no skid marks, there's no nothing. And then,
I feel confident in my Japanese vehicle, my Psycho Prius.
Or your Psycho Prius.
It'll never stop. It'll never stop.
I got a thing for your Prius here. We've got Abe from Santa Clarita on the phone now. Give it up for Abe.
Another
Good morning.
caller, Abe Miranda. Is that right? Did I get that right?
Yes. Hi, good morning. How is everybody? It sounds like everybody's talking about Japanese cars.
Japanese and
great.
Korean.
Well, these are Korean cars.
Yeah.
Oh, Japanese and Korean. Yeah. Well, a lot of times with Hyundai, Americans, we like to pronounce it as Hyundai, but if you were to go to Korea, I believe it's pronounced Hyundai.
Yeah, like Sunday. Hyundai. You are absolutely correct.
Like Sunday, but it's like Hyundai.
I've heard it said Hyundai.
Yeah, speaking of Priuses, in my neighborhood, we've had a rash of catalytic converters that have been stolen, and a lot of them come from Toyota Prius.
Yeah,
really?
Don't I know?
So, yeah, and some of the reasons for that is because it's a hybrid, and as a hybrid, it has a cleaner catalytic converter, so it's worth more. So that's kind of one of the disadvantages of owning a Prius is that your catalytic converter is very clean, which is good, but thieves want it. So a lot of people suggest if you have a Prius, try to see if you could keep it in the garage.
Well,
or you can install a cable.
Yeah, unfortunately, my wife doesn't understand that.
Well, you only have one spot in the garage for a car, and
so
hers is there.
Yeah, or my son's is there.
Yes. So as a matter of fact, Dave, a few months ago,
I am the quintessential wandering Jew, and my car wanders with me.
Yeah, but you lost your catalytic converter. So it's just to fill you in here, Chav Dog drives a Prius, and one morning he got up and started it, and it sounded like it was a lawnmower. No, a chainsaw.
Yeah,
the noise it was making.
It was loud as you know what, and
so it was Saturday night in Manhattan Beach. In Manhattan Beach, of all places, somebody came there and hacksawed out his, or I guess, the Dremel tool.
You just had to clip it off.
They clipped it off.
Easy to get that thing. Mm-hmm. And you have to have it bolted in there. So
and then the police thought they caught the guy, and they refused or really didn't want to pay any attention to bringing it back.
The guy had a lot,
but they didn't want to find your particular one.
No.
Is it Abe? Are you familiar with the California Air Resources Board?
Yes, the
CARB.
Yeah, we call it CARB for sure.
Yeah, that's them.
Here.
So I went to look. Yeah. I'm kind of like Chab Dog's mechanic, amateur mechanic. So I went to look and say, no problem, we'll get this thing replaced. I mean, it's probably like $250. And in any other state it is, because you can buy an aftermarket. But in California, the only catalytic converter that's authorized to use in that car has to be factory order. You can't.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and that's like a $2,000 part from Toyota. So it was like a $2,500 repair bill to get that thing done. Thankfully, your insurance.
Yeah, I had insurance.
But that's ridiculous. So
one thing that I did hear from my community group was that the car's been sitting in the dealership for it's going to be sitting there for a little over a month because the catalytic converter's on back order.
Back order?
They don't have enough.
Like they don't have any in stock. they don't have any catalytic converters in stock, and they're waiting for the catalytic converters to come in. But because people are stealing them, they're people are stealing them, and people are ordering them from the factory. So there's a little bit of a delay. And she told me that it was going to take about 4 weeks for them to get the job done.
Well, that sounds like a racket. Maybe like this garage right here.
Sounds like it's sleeping in my car.
Is the lady who
with a
owns the
shotgun.
Prius here?
Actually, that's me.
Oh, well, your wife's car is totaled.
It's my car.
Sorry. We were, however, able to save your purse.
It's a gender-fluid Euro carrier.
Either way, we'll have it towed
Is
back
this
to
some kind
San
of insinuation
Francisco.
about
Hey, there are
people
plenty
that
of
drive
closer
Priuses?
gay cities, you big ape.
Yeah.
How did this turn into my fight?
You're going to need a loaner. We have a pink Volkswagen Beetle you might feel comfortable in.
Hey, Chab Dog.
Ooh, Brian, we could be
loaner?
two in the pink. Take that one, take that one. I'm thinking of something sportier.
The red Miata
I like
it is.
Beetles,
Give me your
actually,
manliest
but
car.
Bill,
Like
I need a
Beetles.
I
Hummer.
don't have
Again?
I have a pink one.
And what, do you live in West Hollywood, too? That's where you had it towed to. Yeah, you had it fixed in West
Beetles
Hollywood.
is kind of cute. It is such a girl car. You have a Beetle, you should have a license plate that says Google and has smiley smiles on it.
Or a pink
That was hers.
license plate frame.
She wanted the world to know she worked at Google.
Really?
Yeah.
That's too much information already.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is the Tiger Show, really, because we're going to play some stuff from.
Well, it's the
movies
Charo
that
Cha
are-
Cha Cha, but that's
Yeah.
hard to. But the Tiger Cha 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 is hard to get over the Tiger this week. Getting
Yeah, I couldn't
all
decide
smashed up
between
there.
Charo and the Tigers. But this is that scene from The Hangover when they had the tiger in the car.
Yeah, this is a live look at Tiger's
And then
crash
we'll,
this
we'll
week.
say hello to our new
The other people in the car with him.
So, if you guys know if there's gonna be one.
Woke up. Fly down on it.
And then the fun begins. I thought he was going to get out, crawl through the window. I guess he can't fit.
What, he's chained.
Oh, he's chained something in the car.
Yeah. Well, there's great Tiger Woods this week. There's a direct
That was
soundtrack of his
that was Tiger driving.
So Brian's on that.
All right, hello, Brian. How are you? We have Brian Keller. Are we allowed to say on Facebook right now, or we just have to pretend like you're taking a vacation?
No, I'm still on Facebook. Well, I'm temporarily restricted, but I'll be back.
What is the restriction? And I mean, can you talk about it? Can you tell us what that means?
Oh yeah, well, basically Facebook has their algorithms and their terms. They've taken everybody knows about how they've taken Trump and all these people up there. But I've had this experience off and on for the last 5 years. Sometimes they look at a post, they don't think it's appropriate. They come and they usually they'll give you a warning, maybe give you 24 hours. You can debate it, but 24 hours is not worth it. Then they can move to another. If it happens a couple of more times, they'll put you on a 3 days where you can't post or like, comment, or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's been about 2 years at least since the last time I had this happen. But once you get to a certain point, they don't fool around with 3 days anymore. They give me a full 7 days. Just basically broke their code. Specifically what happened, a bit ironic, I guess, it involved Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, yeah.
So, not much of a fan. Anyway, somebody had posted some thing about how great he was and all this. So smart-ass me goes on there and makes a comment. I said, well, I guess as long as you're not a fag, you're okay.
What?
They didn't like that.
They
didn't like that word.
Oh,
That's the joke.
Yeah, that's not very funny on
Wait,
Facebook.
you just said the word fag?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, it's probably way too derogatory.
I mean, but it's not. I mean, what?
It's
That's
viewed as offensive by.
It's that bad now?
Yeah, I think so.
It's offensive to.
I mean, you wouldn't.
Yeah, it goes against
yeah.
it goes against their,
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad I found out. Cause I mean, not that I mean, again, if it offends somebody, then it offends somebody. I wasn't aware that it was offending anybody at that level. If it is,
it's considered hate speech and bullying.
Yeah.
That's specifically.
Huh. What about the C word?
I'm sure that's also. Yeah.
C word. I've never seen anybody get flagged for the C word.
You don't see that on Facebook very much, though. But
No.
I guess it's possible somebody's comment gets like that gets out. But
I mean, as far as language, people
has to
will
be-
people will type out the F word.
Oh, the F word is all
so
over
now-
the place. So did you know? Did you know when you type the?
But if you
the
use
F-
if you type the N word or
Oh well, that's an automatic.
fag or something, that's that's handled totally different.
Yeah, and I get that.
Context just doesn't matter anymore in any of this. You just have to not say it.
Yeah. I went a bit too far. I was just trying to stress my point because old Rush there was a big time homophobe. But anyway, so it was just stupid, careless.
But then it never got fixed until they did a 7-day suspension.
And they basically restricted me for 7 days. I could still go. I still go on it, but I just can't do anything.
See, you know that there's that famous clip from Fast Times at Ridgemont High where Spicoli says those guys are fags.
Yeah, where to go?
But you could have something like that posted on Facebook, but you just can't write it.
I did battle some humongous waves.
There's a warm up.
You know.
Right, exactly.
There's just a difference now, and if you're creating the comment, you have to be very careful about.
Yeah.
If you don't want them to, I mean, you don't have to be that careful, but you have. I don't know how to describe it exactly, other than if you.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of person. I don't go that route. I just.
You were right, trying to make a point about Rush.
I threw it out there to comment on one of these. It was one of those posts by.
Well, let us know when you're freed from Facebook jail.
Oh, there it is.
Say hello to Trump while you're there.
Those guys are fags.
Say hello to Trump.
Yeah. I mean, as a Gen Xer here, I mean, that's a term that we used regularly.
Oh, those guys are fags.
Just like Sean Penn, they're in the 80s, and we didn't mean anything wrong by it. We didn't mean anything bad by it. We weren't using it as an N-word or hatred or anything like that.
Yeah.
In fact, we quite often refer to heterosexual people as F-words. Abe, are you?
Yeah.
Is this sensitivity to the F word, F-A-G word, new to you as it is to me, or were you clued into it?
Well, you know what? I think a lot of things have, changed from our generation. I mean, I went to school and high school in the 90s, and I mean, considering what it's like now in 2021, it's like we didn't have LGBTQ clubs in high school. We didn't have a real good notion of what a pride parade was.
Correct.
We didn't really understand what a rainbow flag was. And so there was a lot of, as far as homosexuality, there really wasn't a lot. Everything was kind of hush-hush,
yes.
Taboo, everything was, keep it in the bedroom. And so that kind of term was very commonplace. And
yeah, that's going back to 1980.
Did in a derogatory way, but that was because that was kind of how the
1980.
how I guess we were grown up, and that's how that environment is. But flash forward 20 years, and the whole thing has changed. It's all flipped on like a pancake, just flipped on the other side. And now I know my high school now has an LGBTQ club, and so those are big difference and big changes that that's kind of that's just kind of evolved in the last 20 years. So
well, yeah, and this is an example of it. And okay,
context matters.
Context matters, and I'm glad I got the memo now. And maybe I was late receiving it, but yeah, we've tried it the other way, and now I see. At first I was a little bit resistant to all Black Lives Matter and all this stuff, and getting it, saying, oh, they're forcing it down our throats. But as time has gone on, I'm coming to realize, we tried it the other way, and there's a bunch of people that are upset and think they're being shortchanged. And it's like, they shouldn't feel that way, and that's not the America I want to live in, where people feel shortchanged and that they're being discriminated against or for any reason. So, okay, let's try it this way. We haven't tried it this way. Let's try it this way. Let's see if this addresses
I think it's considered hate,
sexism and the hate speech and the racism.
It's considered hate speech now.
Sure.
So that makes it taboo to write it.
Yeah.
In general.
So anyway, I mean, I apologize to anybody out there.
Oh no, but for you, Brian, I can also, last week without having this conversation, I might have just thrown out an F-bomb in context as well, the same as you did, without even thinking about it, because I'm thinking like an '80s man.
Yeah, it goes back to the '70s for me.
Yeah.
Oh, those guys are fags!
Yeah, I mean, this is funny.
It's just now you're going to have to put quotation marks and other shit there so that nobody can say you said it.
So this week the Congress passed a bill apparently about along these lines here for the Transgender Equality Act. And again, I look at that and think, you know what? Well, okay, one side of me says, the redneck side of me says, hey, why do we need special laws to, there's freedoms, and they're granted to everybody, so why are we singling out this group? But then the reality side of me says, well, wait a minute, if they were getting justice all the way along, we wouldn't need to have to make a freaking law. And we have to make a law to protect, these rights of transgendered people, in terms of discrimination, in terms of rental housing, in terms of the way the government interacts with them, in terms of the way certain social aspects interact with them. Yeah, they shouldn't be discriminated against in forms like that. But then it brings in the other side is now they're going to allow transgender athletes to compete, and a lot of women are upset about
and you
that.
Can still see the elements out there, just like racism. What's that crazy lady, that Green, put a sign on her door of her office that says there are only two genders.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like throwing gasoline on the fire. That's not helping bridge the understanding here.
Yep. And I had somebody I saw posted a big old Christian-based thing all about the rainbow and how it was a symbol from God, and how those people have stolen it to represent them and their beliefs.
Yeah, the rainbow is after Noah's Ark, right?
Yeah.
That was your part of the Bible, Chabdog, or our part in the rainbow. But the rainbow means a lot of things. They're all positive things.
I don't know. I used to have them on my
pickup
truck, dude. When I had a '76 Dodge 4x4.
Oh yeah.
Nice manly truck.
Yeah.
I had little rainbow decals on my side windows. It was a symbol of peace.
Sure.
Back in those days.
Well, the Hawaiian license plate has rainbows on
it. Yep.
Yeah. Again, it's positive.
Maybe they should show that on Facebook. Show that to Facebook, and then they'll be like, "Oh, you're okay." Maybe they'll release your ban.
Yeah.
He's only got a few days.
I put a rainbow flag on my thing the other last week. And I was after he passed too, in a joke. I said, "I'm going to lower my rainbow flags half step for Rush."
Yeah, that's the spirit. There you go.
Well.
Yep.
Well, I'll ask Abe the tough question here. Abe, should transgendered individuals be allowed to compete against In fact, I'll ask the harder question here. With the advent of this notion here of sexuality, do male and female even exist anymore, or is that binary definition by its own definition sexist, and we have to get rid of it?
Wow, that's some deep questions there. But
well, that's what all this is under. This is the foundation of it. This is what they were really being asked to do: is throw away male and female, and gender stereotypes, so that 3-year-olds can say, "No, I want assignment surgery. Cut my penis off."
Yeah, that's a little deep there. I mean, I know that I couldn't even survive a 2-year cell phone contract when I was 15. I don't know how I could do a gender reassignment surgery, for and stick with it. The problem is that as people grow older, people change, and like I said, it's just hard to even lock in to a single car, let alone a different gender. And the problem is it's like it's irreversible. It's very difficult to change your mind. And so I think that kids that are going through this, I think they're in a tough spot, because, and the parents even more so, because you can't change it.
Yes.
Once you go, it's like there's a point of no return here, and it's what happens when you're 20? What happens when you're 25? Do you still feel the same way you did when you were 10 or 11? I mean, I could tell you right now, I thought I was going to be a pilot when I was 10 years old. Mm-hmm. And, and I'm far from that now. And so it would have been very difficult to even think about making that kind of decision at such a young age. And then, being my age now, 38, and still having to live with that decision. And that's a tough one. And mm-hmm. that's tough. And I think the thing that really should be important is getting, especially the young ones, into really talking about this, because these are decisions that are going to impact your entire life. These are decisions that may impact if you want to go to the military or not, depending on who's the president of the United States. These are just really tough things to do. But I would tell you, what? I am against it until at least you're 18 years old.
Well, Abe, you were very well qualified for me to ask you this next question. As a former Marine and service member, and thank you for your service to our country, how do you feel about transgender people serving in the military? Do you have any issues with it at all, or are you able to give us any comments at all? Would be just interesting to hear what your take is.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you. When I was in the Marine Corps and I was in Iraq, okay, there were women there, service women who were there that were running the canine dogs, and just about all of them were very butchy type lesbian women.
Yeah, just a statement of fact, no judgment. Okay.
Right, and so that's what it was. That's mm-hmm. what they were, and they were very strong women. And you know what? They held their own ground. Mm-hmm. They were tough. They had their dogs. Mm-hmm. They were sniffing for bombs. And you know what? I didn't have any problem working with them. I didn't have any transgender, you could say, in the service where I was at, but that was the closest we got to it. And mm-hmm. you know what? It was fine. And at the end of the day, we could work with just about anybody.
Of course.
The only thing is that there are some situations in combat where, for example, I was guarding a water pump for 2 weeks in Iraq. Okay, it's a water pump with 4 towers and nothing but men in that little compound. Maybe about, not a lot of guys, but there were some guys there. And And the thing was, is there's an open shower there.
Yeah.
There's a porta potty. These are really just, I mean, I'm taking a shower and the guy's having lunch right there.
Yeah.
You know, and these are things that I would say, well, I don't know about if a transgender person was taking a shower there, but how would they feel about taking a shower there knowing that they've got mutilated body parts? They got things that are missing. You know, I'm sure people wouldn't say anything. I don't think there would be much of a problem. But, you know, this is the situation that you're walking into. You know, you're walking into a compound full of guys with one shower head, like, in the kitchen area. And these are just situations that you're put in war. You know, there were times where I was in a line of Humvees. We were guarding an IED, and we had to wait for the bomb disposal unit to come out and clean it up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? I had to go to the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? I can't go behind a tree and go and have a restroom. First of all, there ain't no trees
There's
in
no
Iraq.
trees. Yeah, you're in the desert, man.
You know, that's the first problem. Okay, there's no trees in Iraq. Okay, except for there were some on the base. There were eucalyptus trees on the base, and the only reason there were eucalyptus trees was because Saddam Hussein liked that base, and he had eucalyptus trees imported to be put on that base. But I had to go to the restroom, and guess what? You can't go by yourself because you're in a combat zone.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is guess what? There were 4 Humvees, and basically Sarge told me just dig a hole right there, and guess what? I had to dig a hole right in front of 4 Humvees. So the situation is that there's a reason why it's set up a certain way. And you know what? I mean, these are the situations that you find yourself in war. You know, there is no bathroom. When you have to go to the bathroom, these are supervised visits. You know, you can't just go by yourself. It doesn't work like that. You know, you got to have eyes on your people all the time. And there are going to be situations where you're not going to make it to base because you're going to be out there for 12, 16-hour days. So this is a very rough, situation that you find yourself in. And you know what? It's like these are the things that I think people who are transgender who want to join the military, I think these are things that they need to understand.
Uh-huh.
That you're not going to have the comforts of the Holiday Inn when you go into the war zone. That you're going to have to dig a hole, and you're going to have to do your business in front of 4 Humvees full of guys with 50 cal machine guns staring at you to make sure that you don't disappear, so that you don't get taken away, that you don't get kidnapped. Because that's what they want to do.
Well, you're taking a dump.
You. You know, they want to make a video of them cutting off your head.
Uh-huh.
So these are the things that I think maybe if you are a transgender and you're considering joining the military, these are conversations that I think the military should be having with them so that they understand what they're coming into. Now, there might be some other professions within the military that are not as drastic. Maybe there's, you know, like the Air Force has a whole bunch of positions where things are, you know, not you know, what I did in the Marine Corps. But again, it's just a matter of, you know, if you're going to go into a combat zone, I think people need to understand what it is that you're walking into. Can we work with them? Absolutely. You know why? Because at the end of the day, it's another rifle pointing downrange.
Correct.
Okay? I'd rather have an extra. I don't care if you're a man, you're a woman, or you're a dog, or you're a drone. If you've got another rifle pointing downrange, that's about as much as what I need at that time. Can you throw a grenade? Can you get behind that 50 cal machine gun and start firing downrange? I mean, those are the things. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you look like. Is can you start firing that machine gun?
Yeah, and that's where I think the whole transgender,
really
it doesn't matter if they're transgender at all. It matters if they can work with a team. And all this, they probably able to. I mean, a lot of people, doesn't matter what the sexuality are going to work well in a combat situation, and some just don't belong there. And unfortunately, they get stationed there anyway. But others, so I think that's not a gender-related thing.
But sports is a separate issue, and it has really nothing to do with the military. I mean, we're talking about whether women should have to compete with men, biological males who have become women, and is that fair?
Yeah. Well, if we let's change it to that question. So specifically,
well, there's definitely, I think that there's a reason why men and women's sports are separated, and the main reason is because American men cannot play soccer. Okay, so that's
the women play better.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, hey, that's for real. The women do way better.
The soccer team is excellent, right? So the thing is that sports have always been divvied up, and I think that there's some advantages that men have in certain sports, and I think there's advantages in which women play sports. And I think you get into just some real difficult situation because this is what we're thinking and we're talking about in the United States of America. But guess what? Are they having this conversation in China? No, they're not. Are they having this conversation in other countries? No, they're not. This is a very black and white issue in many countries around the world. The United States is the only country that is unique in that we're having even this conversation, really.
Yeah.
There may be some talk about this in some other countries, but here's the problem. Let's say we, as the U.S., decide to allow men and women to essentially be all-in-one in sports.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that this is not a world stage. At the world stage, they're looking at us like we're not going to compete with you. Our women's soccer team is not going to compete with your team because we haven't reached that level yet where we can do these things co-ed. So here in the U.S.,
it's not fair, Abe. It's not fair to the men because the women would beat the men right now.
Yeah, exactly. And so they may not want to do it. And so the thing is that here in the U.S. we can have an open door policy, but the moment we start talking about international, we talk about the Olympics, we talk about World Cups, we talk about things that are on the international stage, aside from Formula 1, Formula 2, Formula 3, where women do, maybe not Formula 1, but they are in
this
Danica Patrick.
With the Olympics in like the 80s, I think, or the
East Germans?
The East German women. Yeah, the swimmers. They were
Remember the doping scandal back then?
Rumor they were taking testosterone.
Yeah. Rumor, no, it was proven true.
I don't know how much it was proven.
Oh yeah, it was fully proven once the records, the wall fell and they took over East Germany.
They were kicking some ass for a while.
I guess that's the concern there is that you've got okay, if you're just gonna get rid of women's sports and make it all one sport, I'm not sure that they're abdicating that yet, but this is a slippery slope towards that, and maybe that's a good thing. Yeah, we try and go. We'll just get the best athletes we have, and if they're men, they're men. But maybe women, I don't know. Are women biologically impossible to be as good as men? Chabdog, can the best female tennis player beat the best male player? This is Bobby Riggs stuff now. I mean, of course she can.
What are you talking about?
Well, just talking about, can women compete against men physically in sports?
In tennis?
Sure, let's take tennis, for instance. You're an expert in tennis. I don't even care about tennis.
Serena's not winning any major championships in men's tennis.
But Billie Jean King beat Bobby Riggs.
And yes, if you find the right man.
Really? So you're saying that it's physically impossible?
There's a significant difference between men's and women's tennis,
and a woman just can't win.
And it's just like it's more pronounced than golf, I think.
You are so sexist. I'm going to puke my guts out now.
It just is.
Oh my goodness.
Basketball, men's basketball versus women's basketball.
Maybe the women just need more training.
I just can't watch women's basketball. Not much of it.
Yeah, look at Bruce Jenner.
It's just being brutally honest.
Well, I know for a fact that Serena Williams could destroy me in any tennis match.
Yes.
She would destroy a Chab Dog, too.
Destroy me.
And she could probably beat a few guys out there, too.
Maybe
not all of them, but a few of them.
Yeah.
Serena Williams might be able to get on them. And so, I mean, I think it's, it's just, again, this is a conversation we're having in the U.S. I don't know. This is not a conversation that's really for the world yet. I do, of course, we as Americans believe in, being inclusive and being open-minded to some new things, which is what makes America great, really, is the fact that we're willing to have these conversations. If you go to some countries, you can't have this conversation. What we're doing right now, we can't even have this conversation on the radio or online because it's banned by the government.
Yes.
So we have some. We're lucky to even have this conversation. The way I see it, I'm glad we're having the conversation. It's great that folks like you at Chab Dog, you guys talk about these kind of issues and how it relates to sports. I mean, there's not a lot of platforms out there that are willing to break the sound barrier and even have these discussions. And so that's why Chab Dog is truly a pioneer in really moving the sport.
You want to move the subject to horse racing?
World forward here.
I think we'll move to Charo.
I have a generalized opinion on the transgender sports myself. I mean, it's a difficult thing. Like, should they allow a guy who's now a woman compete with women? It's difficult. I propose the thoughtful comment that if a guy wants to become a woman, he may not necessarily be a very good athlete to begin with.
Yes. It's like that guy who he tricked his way into the Special Olympics. Do you remember that case?
Yeah.
He wasn't a very good athlete, but he could win there.
We covered this subject a few weeks ago, remember, when we were talking about Robert Muldoon, the tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Oh, yeah, in The World According to Garp.
There was a character in The World According to Garp who was a professional athlete who changed sex.
Philadelphia Eagles tight end, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert Muldoon, played by John Lithgow.
That was a true story, too.
Yeah. So
they've always been amongst us. And so, and I'm with Abe. I'm glad that we're having these conversations and able to articulate these things and able to... It's a messy situation, but at least we're willing to dive into it. The rest of the world either ignores it, but then the rest of the world only has one kind of toilet anyway. You go to other countries, there's no men's and women's restrooms. There's just one bathroom.
Renee Richards.
Oh, Renee Richards. Yeah.
Richard Raskin. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of those athletes, they waited until after their careers made their decision.
Well,
it's like the NFL. I mean, we know there's people there. There are men in the NFL who are prefer the company of other men, they just keep it really well hidden. I think it's a shame. I don't think. One thing I thought about. I was against, against any banning gays in the military. Is if you start doing, they're there, and transgender people, they're there anyway. So you do that. That's something that creates a blackmail situation, and a blackmail situation makes us less safe. You're less secure when you have information like that can be used against you. So I was always against banning anybody because of their beliefs, because you're creating a security situation here. Isn't that a security situation, Abe, where you can blackmail people so they don't want to get out that they're gay or they believe in something?
First of all, I absolutely want to agree with you. There are so many gay people in the military.
Yeah.
I mean, there isn't just like one or two. There are a lot of gay folks in the military already. And you know what? A lot of them, maybe they're not. Some of them are out. Some of them are not out. Some branches of the military are more conducive to being out than others.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that they're already there. A lot of times you may not even know because, maybe just the subject doesn't get breached, or they're just quiet, or they don't really talk a lot about their personal life. But they're already there. But it doesn't deteriorate the job that's already being done there.
Exactly.
And you're right. To say, well, now we're going to ban it, is like saying, well, first of all, I like numbers, okay? So I don't want to, let's not remove numbers. We want to add to the military, not take away from the military. I think, that's where we're at. So absolutely, they're already there. It does. Let's not find a way to divide the military, because you know what, as they say, right, a house divided cannot stand, right? I mean, everybody says Abraham Lincoln, which he did say that, but he's actually kind of quoting the Bible, so so it all goes back to the roots of the thing is a house divided really can't stand. And
Correct.
That's the thing about our military. We cannot be divided. We are the United States of America. When we are in uniform and we go to other countries, we represent and we look like the United States of America. And we need to stand as one. We need to stand as a strong military. And we need to be proud of ourselves. And you know what? Other countries look at our military and they say, these guys, there's some gay folks in there. And you know what? They're okay with it. The United States is okay that some of these military guys are gay. And you know what? There's a lot of countries out there saying, it's good for them. Good for them. Glad that these guys, because in our country, we can't get over this damn thing. We can't do that. We're afraid to be ourselves in other countries. There are a lot of countries, and in some countries you'll get murdered for it. So when you stand in, for example, a Middle Eastern country where you are gay and you're standing there with an American uniform, American military uniform, you need to see what kind of statement that's making to the Middle East. And there are people there that saying, look, this military, these people are representing everything that's good in the world. They're not out slaughtering their own people because of their sexual preference. And you know what? They see that. And these are kind of the other side that I saw when I was in Iraq. The Iraqi citizens, they looked up to the American military because they were like, these guys aren't like the corrupt a-holes like the Iraqi military. These guys actually represent something good and positive. And if anything, they didn't want us to leave Iraq. And so that kind of the testament to what that military uniform represents. And so that's kind of really where we're at with it. We should not be divided. We should stand as one. And it doesn't matter what your sexual preference is. Mm-hmm. You should stand as one strong military. And when you put on that uniform, you're representing the values of what is being American, which is to be open-minded and to have to even have these discussions. Because there are a lot of countries that have definitively said no. First of all, we ain't even want to have the transgender conversation. And if you're gay, you shouldn't even be in the military. And
that's right.
And those are some conversations that other countries are having. So, what we're doing, again, I like to always say, we're always at the top of the pedestal in all these conversations because there's so many countries in the world that are not having this conversation. And at the end of the day, again, being in the combat zone, being a military veteran, what I like to see is a lot of guns pointing downrange at the target that I'm looking at, okay? And so, and at that moment, I can tell you, it doesn't matter who's holding the gun. I just need the guns. I don't care who's piloting the Cobra attack helicopter that just shot up something and then shot rockets out of it because they didn't think the machine guns did enough work on them. Even though I can tell you from seeing it, yeah, it's those Cobras, man. The machine guns they have on those Cobras, oh, dirty. But anyways, that's basically what I wanted to say. Is as far as we're just having these advanced conversations, and we represent a lot more to the world than just a fighting machine, but also we're representing the values of our country when we put on our military uniform and we step on foreign soil. And that's something that at least I've been privileged to have really that experience being in the Marine Corps, which is, again, why I emphasize that everybody should at least join the military to really have a sense of these type of things, because I think it's really important to step outside of America and really see what the world is like outside of the U.S. so you can come back here and say, wow, am I lucky to live in the greatest nation in the entire world.
Well, that's what brought me here, and here's red buttons to fill us in on what we're missing.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, for Danny Thomas, a legend in his own mind. A man who some years ago read in the papers that it takes $10 a week to support a kid in India. So he sent him his kids. A man who has talent that he's never used at any time. A man who was recently inducted into Hollywood Wax Museum, as is. So why are we throwing this man a dinner? Why are we throwing Danny Thomas a dinner? You want to throw somebody a dinner? Throw it to Don Knotts. He can use the calories.
Skinny like a scarecrow.
Some of the greatest people in the history of the world never got a dinner. Never got a dinner. Moshe Dayan, who once said to Sammy Davis, to me, you only look half Jewish. He's
only got one eye, though.
Robin Hood. Yes, Robin Hood, who said to Friar Tuck, take those sequins off your robe, we're merry, not gay.
That's tasteful.
The janitor of the Sistine Chapel, who said to Michelangelo, at least use a drop cloth. The Boston Strangler, who said, ring around the collar, ring around the collar, never got a dinner. Mao Zedong.
On that panel.
Mao Zedong, yes, who died happy knowing that Dean and Jerry made up.
Dates it here.
Jimmy Carter.
1977.
Jimmy Carter, who said when the sound went off,
Pretending to talk.
He's talking to the dead man. Ready for me?
Danny Thomas was a comedian.
and those words are as true today as
More than
they were
Marlo
when he
Thomas's
didn't
father.
speak them.
Yeah, no, he's a famous.
Oh, there's Howard Cosell.
He's famous in his own right. It was a less a time and a period where we were a little bit freer to make jokes.
Oh, the Blazing Saddles era. Sure. And, the pendulum swings both ways.
1970s.
We'll swing back one
But
day.
that's what I grew up with, so it's kind of what makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, here's another thing that happened in the 70s, since we're on the Tiger week here.
Save the Tiger.
Save the Tiger. Anybody
Yeah.
remember that movie from 1973? Brian, Save the Tiger?
Did you see this movie, Brian?
Save the Tiger.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Abe, you ever hear Save the Tiger?
This is the 19. Jack Lemmon won the Academy Award.
Yeah, Jack Lemmon won the Academy Award
for Best Actor in 1970.
Yeah.
For 1973.
Yeah, nobody's ever heard of this movie. Here's a trailer.
It's a better businessman.
He's picking up a hitchhiker.
Where you going?
He's in a big
Nowhere.
What does that mean?
Well, I stay on the strip. I ride back and forth.
All day?
All day.
How old are you?
20.
Somebody else?
Nobody's 20.
You want a ball?
Whoa.
Harry Stoner, American. First the buffalo went, then the Indian went. Now, Harry Stoner is the last of an endangered species.
Harry, we're gonna have to have a talk. Don't you get cute with me, Rico, because I cannot be restricted.
Endangered species? What, is an old white man?
You just try to get a design out of a contract. My God, you've got a short memory. Have you forgotten? I knew you and your name was Saul. You were running packages and going to a drawing school. Don't interrupt me. But I delivered, didn't I? Delivered? Half your creations are copies. Everybody copies. Arson, Harry. Arson. This is a major felony. You're talking about 20 years. It is the same accommodation. We made missiles. Congress has sent us a certified check. We happen to make dresses.
It's a criminal act, Harry. Please, let's not confuse morality with technology. I've set 15 major industrial fires across the country in the last 3 years. Whether or not to set the fire is a moral question. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Don't misunderstand me, Harry. You know Edna. She's a good wife. She's a hell of a cook, Harry. It's just, well, after 15 years, I need these little diversions. You know what I mean?
Around here.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, say, it's only 11:30. Come on, Harry, call the girl.
I got him, Fred.
He's getting
You're
mouth to
pleading
mouth.
with us to prolong it.
Fred, you hear me? We're to blame here. The man may die. He's not a man. He's a casualty.
I don't know who that
He was with a couple of words.
was. Yeah, I don't know.
You screamed in your sleep. That's the second time this week.
Harry Stoner, American. Harry needs $300,000 to save his business, and his wife tells him he screams in his sleep. But Harry remembers names, like the names of guys who died on the bloody beach at Anzio.
Harry, tell me, what do you want? Another season. That's all, another season? Just survival? No dreams, no hope? Go home, Harry. I want to see Lena Horne at the Cotton Club. Hear Billie Holiday, you sing fine and mellow. I want to be in love with something.
I've flown around the world in a plane. I've settled revolutions in Spain.
Wow.
He beat in that Academy Awards. He beat Marlon Brando for Last Tango in Paris.
Really?
And Robert Redford to Sting, and Al Pacino for Serpico.
Wow.
So and Jack Nicholson for something.
Wow.
So just think of the guys that he beat in that year.
That is such a weak movie, though. It's a weak. Yeah, it's the Last of the Buffalo.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that's
But this is not for
a
best
middle-aged
movie.
drinking white guy who wants to fool around.
Best actor.
Yeah, I hear you, but
there's a difference. I mean, this would never have won best movie.
No, but okay, I guess he was a good actor in it. Yeah, I got to be fair.
But he was in a lot of movies. This guy, he was in Some Like It Hot. I mean, Grumpy Old Men, The Odd Couple. He had
China Syndrome.
He had China Syndrome. He had
Glengarry Glen Ross.
Astounding.
Remember in Glengarry Glen Ross?
Oh yeah, Jack Lemmon I know very well. Yeah. It's just I'd forgotten about that movie. Like I said, it was probably kind of a forgettable movie,
right?
Except for his performance.
Yeah. And
it's really bizarre.
You could play him some Chico and the Man.
Well, let's talk a little. Oh wait, it's 8:59 here.
We're going into the end of our first hour. So
let's end it with some sports. You were looking at some college basketball. You're trying to get into it last night.
Well, we're kind of running out of time.
All right. Well, we'll start at the beginning of the next hour with a little bit of college basketball.
I like the note we finished there with some of those clips that were good. And stay tuned for our second hour of Chab Dog Sports Talk. We'll probably be talking a little more sports second hour. And
what we can anyway.
Here's a word from our commercial sponsors, including Defy Life.
Yeah, great folks at DefyLife.com.
Yes, we're on the Defy Life network, by the way. Check that out at DefyLife.com. They have a lot of interesting stuff there.
See you in the second hour.
All right.
We're told that greatness is exceptional, when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit DefyLifeGear.com to get fitted for greatness.
The Law Office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
Like Chab Dog said, he was 100% right.
He can take all comers.
No, Lawana Page, better known to you as Aunt Esther. She's the only person on earth that Red Fox fears. She's so mean and nasty. When she checked into the MGM Grand today, the MGM line checked out. This is a lovely lady and a beautiful comedian, Miss Lawana Page.
What a thrill this is. Me, standing here between Rummy and Dummy. And I heard about you, Honky. You just keep your chicken picking hands to yourself. Because I'm carrying a can of mace.
Put it on ice and I'll drink it.
Now take a good look at this man. Devil, written all over his face. Just look at it. Now what other old man has wrinkles that spell out obscene words? When I first met this man, he told me he was a church worker. Can you imagine? A church worker, honey. That's what he said. Honey, if he ever worked in the church, it was finding new sins the preacher never heard of. I want you to know I'm not afraid, honey. Just because I'm on your show, you think I need you. Honey, I need you like a rooster needs a marriage license. You've been asking me since I was a kid back in St. Louis. Honey, he was there the night I won a beauty contest. Remember that, Red? They gave me a silver cup.
Yeah, they gave you a silver cup, all right, to keep your teeth in.
You just keep quiet, you old fish-eyed fool. You ain't no judge of beauty. You should have seen his first wife, honey. That woman was ugly.
How ugly was she?
Honey, she was so ugly, if her picture was on a stamp, nobody would lick her.
You're right, she was ugly. But that's the reason why I married an ugly girl. You see, around that time, I tried to join the Elks, and they turned me down. And I tried to join the Shriners, and they turned me down. So I figured, just to get even, I'd marry Moose.
Honey, Red didn't tell the whole story. Not only was his first wife ugly, she was cruel. She buried 3 husbands, and 2 of them suckers was alive. And when he broke up with her, he started chasing after me. After we started going together, he got me a set of wheels. He said if I cooperate, he'd go and steal the rest of the car. And I hear you whispering over there, George Kirby. You call me Aunt Jemima one more time, and I'm gonna whip your batter. Slappy, I heard some of the things you said about me. You making fun of me. That girl you go with is so ugly that she's got pimples on her watch. The one Nipsey runs around with. Honey, Nipsey goes around telling everybody his girl is a model for a perfume company. She's a model for a perfume company, all right, brute. And I heard what you said, Milton Berle. You keep on talking that talking, I'm gonna put that cigar where you can't smoke it. And now it's time for me to do something. That's one of the hardest things I've ever tried to do in my life. Whenever anybody finishes up here, it's customary to kiss the guest of honor.
Uh-oh.
He's shaking his head. Come on, she's not so bad.
He's wiping it off.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're back. Oh, right there.
All right.
And we're back.
Second hour. And
Chab Dog. Now I've got some exclusive. I've got an exclusive tape here.
Right. Well, you want to play
breaking on the Chab Dog show here. I want to break it on the second hour here on Tiger Woods.
Oh, I wanted to see the replay of the accident, not the Windermere thing.
Oh, the replay of the accident.
Yeah,
we already played that.
No, we didn't. Did we?
Yeah, we played that in the first hour.
No, the where we have Tiger Woods and his wife and stuff.
You're really confusing me now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tiger Woods' wife and stuff. That's the Windermere.
Is that what this is?
This is?
Okay. I thought... Okay, never mind.
Well, I'll play this and you tell
confused.
Me. It's a minute 31, so...
This is...
He's confused.
This is a real-life enactment of
This is what
happened.
early onset dementia is like, people.
Yeah, no. I'm still spooked by the fact that I met these two athletic club in Manhattan Beach.
I thought it was a Perkins.
Put the golf club down, you crazy bitch!
No, Tiger and I were working out in the same
never
should have married you!
You're overreacting, you stupid
Ingrid.
Swedish cow!
Then why the fuck are you getting the text message from some low-life hooker on Thanksgiving?
God, shut up! Shut up!
Love the red shirt he's wearing.
Pills!
The black hat.
Tiger, that'll help!
Will you just listen to me?
Listen to this!
Oh, nice
fucking
shot.
horse!
With the golf club right on the face.
He's running outside.
Where the fuck do you think you're going?
He's getting in the escalator.
I'm getting the fuck
Bad
away from
Swedish
you!
accent. It's not good.
Open the door, you
Get the windshield or something.
Ooh, yeah, chase after me in the car, Kenny. What are you guys doing? Dude, check it out. It's EA Sports Tiger Woods PGA Tour 11 for Xbox.
Fuck you, Con!
Stop breaking through the window, Kenny.
Yeah, that's when she breaks the windshield.
Fire hydrant the tree.
And the
Look what
airbags
you
get put on
did, you
service
crazy bitch!
Serves you right, you cheating turd!
Swing.
Oh, dude, was that a combo move? Oh, dude, here come the cops. We gotta lie to them. Hit X to lie. Wow, I didn't know golf.
This is when you and Ben play
Yes.
Xbox for
Yes.
golf?
I could
Tiger
be playing
Woods
that
golf?
game soon. Yeah.
You can get the swing move on the club and they could use it on people.
I guess Tiger needs to work on his driving, huh?
Apparently.
Am I the only one that thought of that?
Hold on. Where's my German?
I think people are afraid.
That's the joke.
People are
There we
afraid to treat this with any kind of levity. I mean, yeah, it's a serious.
Well, it's very serious because we were all rooting for the guy.
Thank
We want to
God
see him come
nobody
back
got
and win like
killed and
1,000
all
more
that, you know.
Masters and just slaughter the field. But this is going to make it. But okay, but there is
Tigers.
we have
continue.
precedents for this. Remember Ben
What?
Hogan?
Yeah, he came back from this.
He did the Ben Hogan story.
But Tiger's already come back from one serious health problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when he broke?
Yeah, so
he broke his leg or
doesn't look-
something, or
That doesn't look too promising, considering everything he's been through.
No.
Who knows? It's Tiger Woods.
yeah, I mean, he could always play on the senior tour if it took a long time, but he's 45, so I kind of think he's not done yet.
No, I wouldn't count him out. No.
But he may
I
not.
broke my back.
He may not.
I
catch,
broke my back.
I don't think he'll catch Jack Nicholson at this point. He's got 3 more majors to go. I think it's asking too much.
Yeah, I know that looked like a sure thing at one point.
Right. There was no way he wasn't going to break that. What?
Yeah, but
No, I said Jack Nicklaus. Oh, she thinks I said Nicholson. Maybe I did.
no, you said Nicholas.
I just like our fact checker here. Okay.
Fact checkers.
Yeah.
So I got a birthday. What do we got here?
What's that?
There's a name you might remember. J.T. Snow.
Oh, J.T. Snow from the California
Son
Angels.
of Jack.
California Angels.
Yep, son of Jack Snow.
He was a pretty good little outfielder. Kind of a fast guy.
Yeah,
right? Good glove.
No, Snow was a first baseman.
Oh, he's a first baseman? Oh, that's bad.
And a very good one defensively.
Yeah,
6
I
gold gloves
remember
in a
him good
row.
defensively. But not good
6
enough.
gold gloves in a row. Not a great, well, especially for a first baseman, was kind of weak.
Mm-hmm. Kind of weak numbers.
268. He had a couple of 20-homer seasons, 100 RBI season. One thing notable was he became a star with the Angels initially, was traded for Jim Abbott he started with the Yankees. They traded him to California for Jim Abbott. Remember Jim Abbott?
Yeah, he was the pitcher that pitched with he had deformed
One arm.
one hand that was deformed, right?
Or
His
short,
glove hand.
short arm.
So he had
Anyway,
to put
he
his,
went on to
that
the
guy was
Giants.
incredible.
They did underwear commercials, didn't they?
And
No, that's Jim Palmer.
Sorry.
he had his best years with the Giants,
not serious,
and
are you?
ironically, he ended up playing against
I'm
the
sorry.
Angels
Yeah,
in that
that's
World
funny.
Series.
World Series.
I'm sorry, Brian.
Yeah,
I was
he,
just laughing about something.
No, that's okay. He was a star with the Angels. Then he got traded to the Giants, and they met
Yes.
the Angels and Giants, of course, in that 2002 series. And he was the leading hitter on the Giants, batted .407 in the World Series.
Oh, really? Against the A's?
Mm-hmm.
That was a good Angels team.
That was against the Giants.
Wait.
against the
down the
Angels.
Yankees
Angels,
on fire.
sorry, Angels. The 2002 series. Yeah.
Oh, the 2002 series, yeah.
That also happens to be the birth of the rally monkey.
Oh,
was that 2000?
Yeah, the rally monkey. Yep.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you brought that. I love the rally. I haven't been to an Angels game in a few years, but I was there over those years when that thing worked. Were you ever there in the stadium, Abe, when you saw they'd be down 2 or 3 runs?
That's when the rally monkey started.
Yeah, he started popping out in the 7th inning.
Yeah.
And they'd always come back in those games.
I start to associate the rally monkey with the Angels' resurgence. Yeah, and that was really nice to see the Angels win it because they've been suffering. I mean, they came close a few times, and the Red Sox benefited from it. And it was about time that it happened. But
it was so funny because it was like when you go back and look at the team, it doesn't even look like a championship team.
No, it's hard to find a real
like
superstar on that
Yeah.
team. It was just a bunch of guys that got inspired, and they played. They all had great seasons, and Mike Scioscia was at the top of his game, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You just it was the right thing to happen. But I remember going to this Game 7, and I didn't have anything to wear. Nothing that went with the definitely no Angels gear. So I put on this red sweatshirt with the word Nantucket in white letters on it, and went there, and some guy got kind of mad at me.
Well, you dump a beer on you or something?
He said I looked more like a Nebraska fan.
Tell me how my ass tastes.
To be home. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Just insensitive.
Insensitive.
Anyway.
Yeah.
That was an exciting game.
Bullshit.
It really was.
Playoffs.
I'm sure Brian never forgets it. Abe probably wanted that to happen.
You're an Angels fan, right, Abe?
Yes, I love going to, I love baseball, and so for me, I really enjoy going to all the stadiums. I like going to Angel Stadium, especially when they're playing the Mets. I tend to find Angel fans a lot more hospitable than the Dodger ones.
Yeah.
But yes, I love going to Angel Stadium. It's always a nice place, especially since sometimes, we can combine a trip to Disneyland at the same time. So that's always kind of fun. Or visit family in Orange County and things like that. But my dad's a huge Angels fan, and so we go all the time with him. So
we drove by. I drove by the gates of Disney yesterday. The place is a ghost town right now. We were coming back.
Absolutely.
In fact, we were doing it
still.
And I want to put this out there. So last week, Ida and I did a little tour of the Manson, some of the Manson family homes, and that took us up to Los Feliz, to where
where you saw the coyote.
We saw the coyote taking
that was the
dump on the
coolest thing.
lawn.
That was the coolest thing in that photograph, where you could see the coyote.
Yeah, I got to capture the photo. Yeah, because the LaBianca's house is for sale. The former LaBianca.
That's awesome.
Home is for sale, and there's a coyote right there in the yard. You have massive. Oh, anyway, so from Los Feliz driving west. Through different parts of the city there and over to Hollywoodland and down along Sunset and such, you just see all this vacancy. Like all these closed stores and all these vacancies for commercial stuff and vacancy for just like rentals for homes and things. And, I've never seen the place so empty before.
It's a lot of economic.
Oh yeah, like how can unless we're going to throw away? Like I just look at it and I wonder, like, boy, this is going to have some repercussions here. This is serious, and we're not talking about it, but this is unless the laws of economics are going to suddenly not apply anymore. Like this is something hard's going to happen here. A lot of people aren't going to, income investments aren't going to come in, or prices are going to drop, or something big is going to happen.
We're going to find out when the government completes printing more money and
I guess so
funding this massive relief thing.
Yeah.
See how much can be tolerated by the system.
How much for the little girl?
But back to sports.
Yeah.
I'm taking us off of this again.
What's going on in the NBA that we can talk about, Brian?
The big, huge monster who thinks
anything.
Bueller.
NBA. Well, I was catching up.
The Lakers are having their problems without.
76ers looking good.
Yeah. 76ers, Joel Embiid's having a great year. And Simmons
See
is
the Nets
better.
moving in tighter and tighter.
Yeah. I saw the Nets lose last night to Dallas, and that was weird. It was just one of those games. They didn't bring it, and they didn't have two of their best players. So, But when they get going, they've compiled a great record against the good teams.
Caught my attention was the East as a whole. I got 76ers, Nets, and Bucks at the top. Everybody else is 500 or less.
Yeah, but the Heat are looking better. The Celtics are still a pretty good team. The East is a little stronger. And then you got, in the West, Phoenix is looking better. Phoenix is looking pretty good. And the Lakers are
you got them. Warriors sitting there 7th place overall after they took a big dump in the last couple of years, I can remember.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Warriors. Yeah, it's been a quick fall from grace. I mean, they were there holding eclipse thinking this is going to go on another 4 years, and all of a sudden...
Well, they lost 2 of 3. 2 of the big 3 players they had are gone. So that does take them down a notch or two. The Jazz are also really looking strong, so who knows about that?
Yeah, they're rolling. They got the best record in the league, I think. Yeah. 27-7. Yeah,
that's pretty solid.
In the West. Yeah, so
I think we need some artificial inspiration.
No,
here.
Did we hear this one already?
No, we have not heard this one.
Oh, well, we can go.
You're time traveling.
We can go to horse racing. On to horse racing.
Is this? Oh, this is artificial inspiration.
I got something big going for me, man.
Oh, yeah, what?
I own a piece of a thoroughbred.
A what?
Thoroughbred. A fucking racehorse,
I was trying to
Charlie.
say thoroughbred.
I'm in with Tommy Botando and Jimmy the Cheese, man.
This guy
$5 piece we went for.
says a lot of.
What did you give 5,000?
He has a lot of mistakes in his pronunciation.
On the street?
Yeah.
What are you, Stenines?
Hey, man, we got a score set up. If you would listen, money ain't gonna be no problem.
Hey,
I
boy,
learned
what do
this
you know
morning
about
that this
horses? What does Jimmy the Cheese Man know about
Julie
horses?
Roberts'
I don't
brother.
have no
Yeah.
nothing in this deal.
Never knew that.
I got in on a swindle with this horse. This
He
horse
had
is
some
father
success,
won
including
the
this one.
Belmont Stakes, man.
Hey, Bully, any horse wins the Belmont Stakes, the yearlings go for maybe 600 big ones.
That's exactly it. We got it for 15 grand, man. It was like shoplifting buying this horse. Have you ever heard of artificial inspiration?
Yeah.
Artificial
It don't just
inspiration.
work for people, Charlie. See, horses can have babies, but artificial inspiration too, man. Like, let's say you got a couple of horses worth $1 million apiece. You don't want to set them loose in some field to screw. I mean, how many times you yourself you pull a muscle or something screwing, right? And these great big stallions, man, they get horny. They can easily kick some other horse in the head. Ba-boom, you got $1 million.
So what's the point?
Point.
Mickey Rourke wouldn't look at
Jimmy the Cheese Man
Yeah.
got in with the groom at his
Then you could
champion
recognize
horse.
him.
We got some of his champion's jism. The groom who jerked the horse for him. He beat his meat right in the stable.
Beat his meat in the stable.
Well, my horse's mother got some of it. Now you bet horses. You know what
Speaking
that
of,
means.
speaking of
Our
meat, look
first
at all that
race,
meat.
Story Hope goes off at big, big
What kind of
odds,
meat is
man.
that? That's a question.
Her
I think
papers
it's-
say that her father was
Is it
some
Capricorn?
no-dick piece of garbage, but she got the champion gene,
Let's go
Charo.
3 kinds of meats there.
Yeah.
Champion Gene.
He's a pretty small guy. That's what it is.
Horses ain't like people, man. They can't make themselves better than they're born. See, with a horse, it's all in the gene. It's the fucking gene that does the running. The horse got absolutely nothing to do with it.
Well, let me ask you something. I mean, how the hell are you going to make your Shylock payments? I mean, now especially.
Exactly like I told you, man, with the nicest, easiest score you ever heard of. Charlie, at least meet the guy, okay? You got nothing to lose by looking it over. There's a real deadline on this Chaloots. Story Hope runs in a couple of weeks. And I need big bucks to bet with, man. There's real money to be made on that race, you know?
This is before he lost his thumbs.
Yeah, he still has thumbs in this thing.
You know, you want to get a permit.
A permit for what?
To shit in the street. You look like a horse.
Pope of Greenwich Village.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Back when Mickey Rourke looked like Mickey Rourke.
You remember that movie, guys? The Pope of Greenwich Village?
Yeah.
That and Christopher Walken and The King of New York. They both had around the same time. Good films. Was that 87, 86?
I never saw that one.
Oh, great movie.
Christopher Walken, The King of New York. Is it about a drug dealer?
He is, but a drug dealer turned good. He gets out of jail and he's reunites with his old operation and has some adjustment issues there, which he takes care of with a little of Italian mafia violence kind of stuff. And then he decides to turn a new leaf and start to give more back to the community.
Christopher Walken is capable of some really good stuff.
Yeah, he's done some good stuff. It's kind of spooky, too.
Yeah, he's been quite unique. Quite unique actor there.
I liked him in that James Bond movie, To Live and Let Live.
Oh, you know what happens today?
What was it? I forgot what it was called.
Last day of the month. What's that?
Major League Baseball. Spring trading.
Oh,
that's when
it's already in progress.
Oh,
pitchers and catchers, or we're actually in full games now?
Actually playing games.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I guess stadiums. I guess can they
baseball has started.
Is the Grapefruit League? Can they get attendance there in Florida?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I would think that there'll be some reasonable allowance for fans, since we're talking about.
So our assumption this year is they're going to play a full season starting in April. That's our assumption moving forward here, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Scheduled through October for the World Series. Yeah.
Okay.
So life is resuming as normal in major leagues.
Yep.
Except for what happens inside the game, which is a little.
Well,
it'll be the final season of a team known as the Cleveland Indians.
Oh, that's right.
The Indians are gone.
Yeah.
The name's going to go away. I guess they'll call them the baseball team.
Yeah, there we go.
No,
Yeah.
they'll probably figure
Using
something.
the Washington model, just changed to the baseball team for a few years. We'll see how that works.
I don't think they need 3 years for a name like the Redskins.
I don't think the Redskins need 3 years either. They already had a name.
Yeah.
I know, but the new name.
Oh, they might as well take 10 years. Take 30.
Somebody said they should call them the potato skins or something.
There we go.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Foreskins.
This is Mr. Potato Head's now changed.
Oh, that's
to
right.
Potato Head.
Hey, I forgot about that.
Took away the
Speaking
Mr.
of gender.
Yeah, they took away. Well, it's still Potato Head. It's not. It's non-gender specific Potato Head.
So what happens to Mrs.? I guess she's gone.
Oh, Brian, don't say that. You're gonna get banned.
You know what?
2 weeks for you.
You know
Facebook
what?
heard you.
You know what Mr. Potato Head's real name is? Pat.
It's hailing back to.
I guess they could just put both parts in one box now.
Yeah. Yeah, you have all the different openings. Things
Well, you're going to put more holes in there so you can put them on simultaneously.
You just have more accessories. You have the male bag and you have the female bag, and then you could even have a third bag for like whatever the hell you want to conjure up.
The blonde hair on and the mustache. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe we came up with a great new idea for a toy.
Oh boy!
Oh wow, poor Potato Head. And then the whole they have to go back to those movies, Toy Story, and they're gonna have to put warnings on the movies now because the gender portrayal of that Potato Head is now completely out of line with our acceptance of Potato Head today, because he was definitely Mr. Potato Head back then. Yeah.
Yep.
So just like they have the warnings on the movies now, Disney does. Well, they put the warning for the Muppets last week. Do you remember that? Hey, we're not talking sports.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we drifted off subject. That's okay.
That's the joke.
We drifted.
Yeah. We're missing. There's got to be something we can cover in sports here.
Well, there's the tournament, and
which one?
What do you think, Brian? Do you think the tournament's going to be kind of boring this year because we're not going to have the small schools. We're not going to have the schools like in the Ivy League that aren't playing. I mean, there's going to be more uniformity this year.
The NCAA thing?
Yeah.
Well, this darn Gonzaga's got to finally win one sometime, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're due.
This is probably the year for them. I don't know a lot about them, though. I know they have 3 really strong players, but I don't see them on TV much. I guess we're going to have to just drink the Gonzaga Kool-Aid again.
Yeah, they're always right in there, but they haven't never reached the top yet.
I think it's going to be somebody unexpected because there's just I don't think there's really a super distinction. I saw the number 2 team Baylor lose to KU yesterday, and Baylor looked flat and not very impressive. So they don't scare me. Michigan's
there's a solid Michigan team in there.
Yeah. Solid. Illinois is solid.
But nothing especially exciting.
I think, it could be anybody in the top 25, I think. So, I think the format is what I'm wondering. How is it going to be? Are they going to have just one site where everybody plays?
Oh, yeah. They're all playing in Indiana. 4 different sites in Indiana.
Okay, so it's within the same metropolitan area or something. Just four pods within the pod.
Yeah. Bubble, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the bubble state.
Well, they're going to blow Indiana up.
Let's hope this is the last year we have to dick with this stuff.
Oh, I read another thing interesting is if a team has a COVID issue, they're gone. The game's called a no contest.
Really? Just one little slip up. Somebody gets sick. And that team is not allowed on the court. God, what happens if we get to the finals and they both get infected? And then you have a tie.
Well, no, they'll probably nominate 2 more teams.
Then you'll look at 3 and 4.
Yeah, there's also that stipulation. If they have time, the conference they came from, I guess, can nominate the team.
There you go. Yeah, the show must go on. You got bills to pay. They got bills to pay.
Sure.
Somebody's going to play.
The NCAA, they need their bonuses. The council there that get paid to run this thing.
The show
that
must
would be
go
weird
on.
if a couple of replacement teams end up in the championship.
What was the NCAA championship that you remember the most?
What I remember the most was probably, I want to say that last UCLA team.
Oh, the one in 95?
It was John Wooden's final?
The one in 95.
John Wooden's not, no. John Wooden's 75. I think.
Oh, wait, you're talking about the last John Wooden's team that won?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was like, wasn't that like 70, was that 75?
1975, yeah, 1975.
Yeah.
Was it that long ago? I thought he won. I thought Wooden won in the 80s.
No.
Okay.
He was gone after that.
No.
I forgot who
they won another one in the 90s.
Yeah, 95. They won under Steve Lavin.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't it Steve Lavin or somebody like that?
It was, they had O'Banion.
Ed O'Banion.
Ed O'Banion, I remember that guy.
Cameron Dollar.
Yeah.
I can't remember all the other.
Were you on campus?
But I just remember that.
I
just remember the intensity and the excitement of them winning that one in 75.
In 75, who did they beat? Was it Notre Dame or?
Marquette?
Maybe it was Marquette. Marquette ended up winning 2 years later under with Al McGuire. They beat North Carolina and won it finally. I think that's right. I've had to guess.
It just seems.
You're almost
I'll
as good as
find out
Tank.
here.
Not quite, but I'm pretty close. That
you guys were close sometimes. He always had the deeper memory.
Well, he's not here to really explain what you mean by that. But I
Big
agree with what you're
75.
saying.
You still let me see where it's at here. Ah. Where is it at?
If anybody knows sports history, it's this guy.
Fake, I'm a fucking bouncer on wheels.
Oh, so it was a 74, 75.
Yeah.
Knock it off!
And we let him off the hook.
Sales just arrived. This is Kennedy's pink suit.
I'm only kidding with you. If we get you season tickets for free, can we convert you to the Bronx? No.
Hey there, sports fans. Chab Dog here.
We work Jewish holidays?
What are you looking, Brian? You're looking up the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have tuned into one of the best shows on the air for all of your up-to-date
Well,
sports.
you can go to Wikipedia.
Oh, there it is. Kentucky.
Kentucky. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was really Kentucky. Kentucky would win it.
92-85 over Kentucky.
Kentucky would win it in 1978 with Joe B. Hall.
Yeah.
And Eugene Banks. Wasn't he on that team? Anyway, don't feel too sorry for Kentucky. They won quite a few.
They won an overtime game over Louisville to get in the semifinal at 1 point. I remember that one, too.
Hooterville? Yeah, I saw that episode of Green Acres.
So
So we
we
got
got-
another tiger sighting here.
Oh.
Newsflash. Oh.
This is from Apocalypse Now?
It's another tiger.
Oh.
From Apocalypse Now, yes.
What happened?
Tiger.
The tiger maul somebody? Can't see anything.
That's the whole point. It's dark.
Captain, come on! What's up? Go! Let's
Scrambling back to the boat.
Man, if you were right, never get out of the fucking boat! Please, bring that 60 forward! One, never get out of the boat! One, get out of the boat!
Another shit.
I gotta remember, never get out of the boat! Please, on the 60!
Tiger's gone on swim.
What happened? How many is it? Fucking tiger! What? Fucking tiger! Tiger!
What are you talking about?
You never saw the movie.
Guy's losing his mind.
They were looking for mangoes in the jungle. They pulled over. It's nighttime. And they get ambushed by a tiger. And he just runs back and, yeah. He got ambushed by a tiger in the sea. So it's tiger. He's back to the Chico and the man. And
The tiger theme.
Tiger theme. Well, it was the Chico. It's the Charo.
To be a very small fella. He could be standing under that car. Why don't you
take
take a look?
Thank you.
Oh, I'll take a look.
Yeah, he's looking at her ass. Boy, that's out of bounds today.
He's not there.
No, he's not? Oh, my mistake. What do you want with Raul? Wouldn't an older man do?
Look, it's very important. I must find Raul Garcia. Because, you know, I came all the way from Spain to find him.
Really? Why do you want to find him?
It's very important. You see, I am his aunt.
His aunt?
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, that couldn't be. He doesn't have any relatives. He comes from Mexico.
But that's him. Yes. You see, he is my sister's child.
Uh-huh.
He was born in a small village of El Rosario in Mexico.
Uh-huh.
I checked it out with the welfare office, and that's how I found you.
Oh, that's very nice. Well, I'm sure he'd be delighted to see you. How long are you going to be here?
Not too long, just long enough to pack his luggage and take him back with me to Spain.
Spain?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, to live with me. You know, this child belongs with his relative. Do you know where is he?
Oh,
Raul?
No, wait a minute.
Raulito?
Sorry, hold everything. You just missed him. You know, he went back to Mexico. As a matter of fact, he swam back across the border only last night.
Swam back to Mexico?
That's right.
Are you trying to pull your bullies over my eyes? Nobody
What
has
is
ever
Jack
done that
Albertson's,
before.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. See, he wanted to get his name in the Guinness Book of Records.
Chico, what is he?
do you
The
think I was
man.
born
What does the
tomorrow?
man do?
Mechanic.
It's a comic.
You don't believe me, huh?
I didn't realize that.
Well, why don't you try to find him for
I
yourself?
always
Why don't you
associated.
go back to
being-
Mexico
I
and
always
ask
thought
for
of
a
him as
Mr.
like
Ramirez?
a white Fred Sanford.
Yeah.
Speaking of Fred Sanford,
Some lady out there asking for Raul,
What
and
was
some
his name in
fool
this
told
movie?
her that he went back to
Gary?
Mexico. Now, ain't
Louis?
that crazy? Hey, lady, come on in here. Huh?
Yes?
That's Raul sitting right over there.
Thank you very much. Raúl, Raulito. Ay, Dios mío, Raulito.
that'd be a dream come true.
She's smothering that kid with kisses.
Well, she's just rubbing her breast all over this guy. over Chico.
It's not the kisses that are smothering him.
That's not Chico.
Glenn, who is she?
Well, she claims to be your Aunt Charo from Spain.
That's correct. You are my nephew. Raúl, I am your mama's sister. You understand? You are my nephews.
Wow. A real life relative?
Yes.
My own flesh and blood?
I don't know about the blood, but she got enough flesh there for two relatives.
That was the best line in the whole.
Yeah, that was it. I was waiting
Oh,
for the payday
God.
there. The great Scatman Crothers.
Yeah.
He was in that
I didn't watch
Stanley Kubrick film.
What?
The Shining.
Oh yeah, he was in that.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a lot of
Yeah.
Sanford and Son. I didn't watch as much Chico and the Man, but I see that show definitely had potential. To be
It was the white
something.
man's. Yeah, you called it right. It was the white man's. All in the Family. No.
When it came to white men, the Ted Knight was the whitest guy I could ever find, but he was so funny.
The whitest guy in the room.
You could play the acceptance speech.
Yeah, this is a
could
really
find it.
awkward and funny.
Mr. Baxter.
This is when he won the Teddy.
Yeah, they pretty much ran out of people to give it to, so they finally gave it to him.
No, he campaigned really hard for it in this show. He spent a lot of money.
As I stand here tonight, I can't help but reflect on the fact that the world is anxious for peace. The doctors seek out cures for diseases, and that I couldn't care less. Because I've got this. How wonderful I feel. You don't know, you really don't know, you couldn't know. I've waited so long for recognition. Not even recognition, just one drop of approval. Tiny little pat on the back.
Lou's
So
burning
long
up.
without kind work.
He's still alive. Those can't go together. It happened to me once when I was giving a speech. I lost it like that.
You start crying?
It's terrible.
It all started
I
in the
couldn't
5,000
talk.
watt ring.
I was speechless.
Fresno, Cali. Kill him.
Sure it wasn't a bad dream and you were naked?
No, that's what was going.
So you're worse than Ted there, or as bad?
About the same.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, maybe my wife will tell you sometime. It was her mother's funeral.
Did your brother-in-law catch you double dipping?
What?
Did your brother-in-law catch you double dipping in the dip
No,
afterwards?
He just
at the funeral.
I really liked her mother, and sometimes, sometimes your brain gets in the way of your mouth.
Oh yeah, well, quite frequently. We're human beings.
It just stops. You get really literally choked up.
Of course. Like Old Yeller.
Yeah, it's also how I felt when Rush Limbaugh died, all choked up.
Dude, I'm looking at you, but if I wasn't looking at you, I can still tell you're just, you're not. You're just joking.
I didn't hate him as much as some other people.
He's not. He wasn't worth hating. Nobody's worth hating.
I remember some things listening to him when I was in Houston. I started out in Houston in the early '90s. He was going really strong.
Yeah, that's where I remember him from.
At the EIB, the Education and Broadcasting Network.
Excellence in Broadcasting Network.
In Broadcasting Network. And then that song they played all the time, the Pretender song.
Yes, My City Is Gone.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, that's a good theme.
Whether you like him or you hate him, you have to admit he was a businessman, and he did a lot of things with broadcasting that kind of laid it. He was the first real big broadcaster on political subjects, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if he began it or he was part of it. He's certainly at the beginning of the era of
part of it,
Airways.
but he became wildly famous for his conservative talk, as they call it.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of listeners.
But what I noticed was it was one-sided talk, that he began the notion of one-sided talk. Up until that point, when you heard people discussing political ideas on the radio, they seemed to be just a default. We're going to have people from both sides on, and we're not going to. No program is going to represent one side or the other, or at least it seemed that way.
Like a Larry King.
Well, you had to have equal time, didn't you?
Yeah, but then Rush Limbaugh came along, and it was all one-sided. And then on top of that, they were making at times preposterous claims.
It coincided with the change in the law, I guess.
Change that concept.
Wasn't there a change in the law where they got rid of the equal time doctrine or something?
Really?
Yeah.
That's vaguely a memory now. So
I think there was some kind of rule that you had to present both sides somehow, and but that got changed around the in the late '80s or early '90s when Rush started really taking off.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll do a little research on that. That's going to be some interesting Googling here tonight.
It's just that I was entitled to their opinions and everything, and I frequently listen to some conservative radio myself, more for the entertainment value, I think. Here's that side of the story.
Uh-huh. Well, I don't know what... Now you got your choice between, like, Glenn Beck and this guy that you know, and Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
You got quite a few... and then, I don't know, the people on the left,
well, that's
I don't even know
ABC, NBC, CNN.
Yeah, they got the major media.
Now.
They don't need
the left
anybody.
is mainstream now. So,
yeah.
I mean, anything out lefter than that? I mean,
especially the prime, especially the primetime books. Obviously, they're one side or the other. It's not even news anymore.
Well, take the coverage of Governor Cuomo, for instance. Now, a second woman has stepped forward, but they're hardly reporting the first one.
Second woman.
There's a second woman now, but they're trying to bury the first one, and now a second one's coming.
It's kind of wild that these allegations pop up all of a sudden, just like out of nowhere. When he's already suffering, the worst of things, you think. It's just bizarre.
Well, being part of a
did you hear about that? Let's talk about terrible things. Did you hear about that Olympics coach that killed himself?
Oh, yeah, committed suicide. Well, I'm not sure that's the most terrible thing that happened there.
Yeah, I mean, the terrible thing was what he...
all the allegations against him. If
what he
even a
allegedly
fraction
did,
of truth there, that's terrible.
I mean...
But it pretty much tells you when they do that, it pretty much tells you whether it was true or not.
Yeah, something wasn't right.
We had
well, that was a large-scale thing, wasn't it?
He's enabling Larry Nassar.
Catholic priest at the church that I used to go to often myself after allegations came out back in the 90s.
How much was your settlement from the lawsuit?
I didn't get anything out of it. I never had a problem. I never even saw it.
Brian, you're talking to a lawyer here. The lawyer here would counsel you to say, no, you did have a problem, and you need to be paid. You need to be compensated.
You weren't aware of it, yeah.
And I know just who can represent you.
Right.
I was even an altar boy when I was like 6 and 7 years old.
I can refer it, though.
You can refer
I can get a referral fee.
Hey, you needed this. This could be your trial. You could take this up. You practice this end of the law?
I'll do anything once.
There you go.
Except rob a butchery. Do you want to play the butcher clip?
Oh, the butcher? Yeah. Yeah, this is funny.
See if you can guess all the actors in this clip, Brian.
Hey, now, there you are,
or-
and here's your change.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Rodriguez.
Thank you, very Cuchi Cuchi.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Cuchi Cuchi
Stick
Cuchi.
up.
I know
Yeah,
who
put
that
your
is.
hands over your head. Yeah, you. Come on, put your hand. Get over there
That's
against
so
the
from
wall.
here to
Come on,
eternity.
move it.
Doesn't look so fat.
Come on,
maybe.
lady. I said up against the
Well,
wall.
he
But
was in
this is as close as I can get.
Hey, put your hands over your head. Okay, but you're going to be
so
sorry.
beautiful.
What do you mean? Well, I didn't use a deodorant yesterday. I may not use one today.
This is the best part.
Just cooperate. Nobody will
Man
get
named
hurt. Now,
Dr.
come on,
Champagne.
put it all in here. Okay, you got it. Here, take all the money. Take it. Not the money, you dummy. Right, we come for the stuff that's really worth something. Oh, yes, sir. Turn around here. Give us your meat. My meat. He means business. No, please, anything but my meat. Come on, fork it over. But no, this is the end of the day. All I have is 2 kidneys and a pig's knuckle. You're
This is
lying.
funny. This
There
is
must
a
be
gay
something.
man
No, I
pretending
swear
to
I'm
be
not
gay.
lying. I wouldn't lie to you. You know that. I
He's
don't
wearing a
lie.
wedding ring.
I know. He's totally.
Tell us the
And
truth
meat is a
now, did you,
metaphor. If you
Benny,
want to
huh?
whip out his meat. It's a
My
metaphor.
last statement is inoperative. Get down there. Come on, Louis. Frisk him. All right. Hey, your hands are cold. What are you doing after the heist? All right, cut the wires out. He's clean, boss. Fat, but clean. Yeah. Well, I don't trust him. All right. Hey, take off your shoes. Oh, no. Take the shoes. No, please. Take the shoes. Oh, all right. Okay, take it easy. Aha! Just as I suspected. Wiener Schnitzel. Hey, how about that broad?
He's hiding meat in his clothes.
Get over here, lady.
Oh.
You got any meat on you?
I never have any complaint.
You know what I mean. You want me to frisk you too?
Certainly not.
Try it, you'll like it. Quiet, big mouth. Come on, lady, let's have it.
All right, you ratting bandidos.
Hey, I wonder where she keeps
Pulled
the
out a
mustard
skin
and
of
relish.
sausage from the
We know you're holding out on us. Now, come on.
That was
Where's the
You think the
good
butcher's
stuff?
gay?
Interesting
No, I
trick.
really... Aha!
You think the
Get
butcher's
over
gay?
here. Oh, please. Get over
pretending
here.
to be.
Get over here.
He's just a man.
Oh, for the good old days. Aha! Open it. Okay, but don't shoot. Don't shoot. I got 3 kids, and next week I'm going to get married. Ooh. Here it is. Mamma mia. Oh. Oh, Louis, look at this. Oh.
Pulled out a beautiful steak.
Is it real? Filet mignon. Prime. I ain't seen beef like that since I was a kid. Oh, we got enough protein here, Louis, to last us for the rest of our lives. Please, no, please don't take that. That's been my family a long time. Oh,
Something you know is right.
please, don't take my meat from me. Please, don't mind. Rip my leg.
He's representing the oppression of the working man there.
Oh. That was a good. D. Martin Variety Show was good.
Oh, for the good old days. Andy Williams, Dean Martin, Mike Douglas.
So, we got about 7 minutes left. Anything else you want to talk about? That's on your mind?
Well, I'd like to add that in 1975, since you were talking about the UCLA Kentucky game.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, Dale, right?
Yeah.
They played at the San Diego Arena, and I was hoping that the San Diego Clippers were there. Now I had to reference it, but it's unfortunately the San Diego Clippers were a little bit after that. However, there was an ABA league that played there.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might have called them as the Conquistadors.
Yeah, the
or
Conquistadors. Yeah.
Yeah, the Conquistadors.
San Diego
they changed their name to the
Conquistadors.
Sales for a little bit.
So you remember
so
those those early teams in San Diego?
I like, I really like I've always liked the Clippers over the Lakers. And of course the Clippers have some history, not all of their history, but some of their history in San Diego. And I always thought it was just so neat for San Diego to have a basketball team. And I really, really, I'm always like for this push of, I always felt like the Clippers should go back to San Diego and really put on that nautical type of uniform and just,
right.
There's just
because that's why they're called
so much
they're called the Clippers because they have clipper boats in San Diego. It's a real harbor there. The LA is not associated.
72 to 75. They were known as the Qs.
Conquistadors too hard to say.
Suzy Qs.
But then they became the Clippers for I don't know how many years, and they had some. They had I think they had Michael Cage and they had Bill Walton. Didn't they have Bill Walton playing for them? Swen Nader. I can't remember the other players on that team, but they had a decent team. And then they turned into the lovable loser LA Clippers, who are now a powerful team. But will they do anything in the playoffs? That's another story.
Will they move to Seattle?
Yeah. Conquistadors head coach 73-74 was Wilt Chamberlain.
No way.
Really? So he did get a coaching
in the majors.
gig.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Well, even more so, I think, after the Chargers moved to LA, which, if anyone follows me on Twitter, they know how much I rag on that move. It's like San Diego really was left teamless, like LA, except even worse. Because they don't have a basketball team, or they don't have a football team, they don't have a basketball team, but at least they still have a baseball team.
Yeah.
So the Padres better not consider moving anytime soon.
I don't know when the Padres started, though.
The Padres?
I think the Padres are kind of set in their ownership and everything, as opposed to the other.
They must have come in a. When did the Padres start? Like the 60s?
Padres since '69, I think.
Yeah, they came in with the Expos, Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Padres are one of the last teams that have not won a World Series from that era.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe the last team from that era.
Yeah.
But interesting enough, just to add to that 1975, interesting in the ABA League, even though Kentucky lost the NCAA that year, the ABA Kentucky Colonels won the championship in that league that year.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the one the movie was made about?
I don't know.
The Colonels?
You mean the one with Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell.
Oh, God, I don't remember. But that was kind of a joke, that team. But
yeah, but they won. I think that was the Colonel's story. It was a bit of a joke, but it still worked out.
Yeah, that was a good team. They had I think Artis Gilmore and Louis Dampier and Dan Issel. Dan Issel was a big Kentucky Colonel.
Well, you are a storehouse of knowledge.
I love those teams.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was a great ABA team, and I don't know how many more ABA championships there were after that. When is the realignment? Is that like when did the merger happen when all those teams disappeared and when did the few?
I think they folded in 75.
So that might have been the last one.
Season.
Yeah, Abe was referring to the last one. The Kentucky.
Yeah, I think that there was one more. The New York Nets won in 75, 76.
Oh.
I think there was one more after that one.
Some of the teams folded, I think.
I think they were called
Yeah,
the New
they were
Jersey
folding
Nets.
though.
Yeah.
They were folding during that season.
Yeah. The thing I liked the most about the ABA was the ball. I liked that ball, the red, white, and blue ball. That was cool.
Yeah,
that is cool.
67 to 76.
Well, the 3-point shot. They did 3-point shot shooting in that league. Didn't The NBA only did 2.
Yeah.
You know, it would set up for some of these teams to be able to, you know, wear their ABA jerseys for like a throwback. And I'm sure maybe some have done that, but I think that would be really cool to have like ABA night where you can, instead of using the regular basketball, you use the color basketball.
Yeah.
And some of the teams wear some of the retro uniforms.
Oh yeah, that's a great themed event, you know, night.
I'm sure if the NBA could figure out a way to make money doing it, they do it.
They got to get fans back there, though.
Yeah, well, maybe this is one way to do it. Won't hurt.
Yeah. Well, it's a good marketing suggestion.
There we go. Let's mail it to the relevance department.
Send it to...
let's hope they're listening.
Adam Silver.
Yep. To the NBA. This is your free suggestion.
Oh, yeah, they had an Anaheim Amigos.
That's a great name. Anaheim Amigos.
Anaheim Amigos played 1 year.
3 Amigos.
Sure. It's a positive image.
Yeah,
Amigo,
you could have that, the symbol. The
Amigo.
symbol could be the 3 Amigos.
Amigo, see?
Yeah. All right, well, we're going out now with a song, so thank you guys for being involved in one of the more unusual Chab Dog Sports Talks, where we spent less time on sports, but that's okay because there's not a lot going on.
There's much to talk about, unfortunately. We'll get back to sports, though. I mean,
it's too bad that we can't play the Andy Williams song, but we got...
I think this was the better of the two anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a little more upbeat.
Short, but it's quick.
So we're going to go out with The Wanderer from Dion, and thank you to Abe Miranda for calling in from the Valley, and...
Santa Clarita,
sorry. And
sign.
Brian Keller. Brian from Banning, who is temporarily banned, but he'll be back.
He was banned from Banning. And he's banned in Banning. He's banning.
Banned in Banning.
Just
something like that.
I don't know. Whatever, handle it however you may.
We forgive you, Brian. We understand.
We know your heart's in the right place.
Yeah, we know your heart's in the right place. We know you didn't mean anything bad by that. Which Facebook realized that too.
So... that's it for today and the Cuchi 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 show. We'll see you next week.
Enjoy your coochie.
Thanks.
Oh, and I'm the type of guy who will never settle down. Where pretty girls are, well, you know that I'm around. I kiss them and I love them, 'cause to me they're all the same. I hug them and I squeeze them. They don't even know my name. They call me the Wanderer. Yeah, the Wanderer. I roam around. Oh, well, there's Flo on my left arm and there's Mary on my right. And Janie is the girl, well, that I'll be with tonight. And when she asks me which one I love the best, I tear open my shirt and I show her Rosie on my chest, 'cause I'm a wanderer.